Hello students, welcome back to the new video. In this video, we are going to continue the ongoing chapter number 6, Combustion and Flame. In today's session, we will discuss the textual exercises. Let us start with question number 1. List the conditions under which combustion can take place. So what is the answer? The condition under which combustion can take place are given below. You have already learned that there are 3 conditions necessary for the combustion to take place. Which are they? Number 1, a combustible substance. Number 2, oxygen, that is the supporter of the combustion. Number 3, attainment of ignition temperature of the substance. So, combustible substance and oxygen, and the substance must attain or reach the ignition temperature so that the combustion can take place. Now, we will see question number 2. Fill in the blanks. Number 1. Burning of wood and coal causes dash of air. What is the answer? You are very much familiar with it. Yes, it is pollution. Burning of wood and coal causes pollution of air. Number 2. A liquid fuel used in homes is dash. Kerosene. Kerosene is a liquid fuel that is used in homes. Number 3. Fuel must be heated to its dash before it starts burning. So when does a fuel starts burning? When it is heated to its ignition temperature before it starts burning. So ignition temperature is the answer here. Fill in the blanks. Number 4. Fire produced by oil cannot be controlled by dash. The answer is water, and you must be knowing why it is water, because water is very denser than oil. Therefore, it goes down and the oil will come up on the container. Therefore, it can promote the burning rather than extinguishing the fire. Therefore, we cannot use water to control the fire produced by oil. Now, let us discuss question number 3. Explain how the use of CNG in automobile has reduced the pollution in our cities. Answer. The use of CNG in automobile has reduced the pollution in our cities as it is clean fuel. So, here we say that CNG is a clean fuel. Why it is called as a clean fuel? Because it produces very less pollution. It gives out less pollution causing gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. So these all gases are actually producing the pollution, but CNG gives out only less amount of these gases. These gases play a very important role in global warming and acid rain. Also, CNG does not leave behind any residue after its combustion. So, the above mentioned gases are playing a very important role in the global warming and also in the formation of acid rain. But CNG produces very less amount of these gases. Further, CNG does not leave behind any residue after its combustion. Therefore, when the CNG fuel is burned, no solid waste is released. So, because of all these reasons, we can say that the CNG is actually a clean fuel. Now, let us see question number 4. Compare LPG and wood as fuels. First of all, we will see about the benefits of LPG. LPG does not cause pollution on combustion, and in LPG no smoke is produced, and also it is a gaseous fuel. And fourth point is that it has more calorific value, that is 55,000 kilojoule per kg. So these are the characteristics of LPG fuel. Now let us see what are the characteristics of wood as a fuel. Wood pollutes air on its combustion because it gives out the solid waste or solid residue also, therefore it pollutes air. Wood produces smoke. And third point, it is a solid fuel. And fourth point is it has less calorific value, that is the 17,000 kilojoule per kg. So when we compare the LPG and wood on its fuel efficiency, we can see that LPG is having more fuel efficiency as its calorific value is 55,000 kilojoule per kg, whereas wood is having only 17,000 kilojoule per kg. So we can say that LPG is more efficient than wood as fuel. Now we will discuss question number 5. It is give reason questions. In that first one, water is not used to control fires involving electrical equipment. We have to give the reason. So answer, water is not used to control fires involving electrical equipment because water is a good conductor of electricity and its use may result in the electric shock to the person trying to extinguish fire. Here, water, the property of water we have to consider. Water is a good conductor of electricity. So, if we pour the water on the electrical equipment which is on fire, then as a result, the electric shock, the person who are working or who are trying to put out the fire may get a electric shock. And also this will destroy the electrical equipment completely. Now let us see question number B. LPG is a better domestic fuel than wood. Answer, LPG is better domestic fuel than wood because it does not produce gases or leave behind any residue on combustion. Moreover, it has more calorific value than wood. See, just in the previous question we have seen the comparative study of wood and LPG as fuel. Here LPG is better domestic fuel because it does not produce any gas or solid residue on combustion. That means it does not cause any kind of pollution. Secondly, it has more calorific value than wood. So we can get more heat when LPG is burned rather than the same quantity of wood. So LPG is a better domestic fuel than wood. Give reason number 3. Paper by itself catches fire easily, whereas a piece of paper wrapped around an aluminium pipe does not. See children, a substance catch fire only when it reaches its ignition temperature. So, as ignition temperature is low, the paper by itself catches fire easily. But a piece of paper wrapped around an aluminium pipe does not catch fire easily as the heat being given gets absorbed by the aluminium pipe and hence the piece of paper does not get its ignition temperature. So when the piece of paper is wrapped around aluminium pipe, actually the heat given to that pipe will be absorbed by the aluminium pipe and therefore the paper does not reach its ignition temperature and hence it does not catch fire. Question number 6. Make a label diagram of a candle flame. Here the diagram with the completely labeled figure is given. Please refer that and draw it in your notebook. Now let us discuss question number 7. Name the unit in which the calorific value of a fuel is expressed. The answer is the calorific value of a fuel is expressed in a unit called kilojoule per kg. In short, it is written as kJ per kg. So, what is the unit of calorific value? Kilojoule per kilogram or kJ per kg. Now let us discuss question number 8. Explain how carbon dioxide is able to control fires. Answer. Carbon dioxide is an excellent fire extinguisher. And what makes it an excellent fire extinguisher? It is due to its property that it is heavier than oxygen. So carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen. So it forms a blanket around the fire, because of which the supply of air is stopped. So carbon dioxide being heavier than oxygen, it forms a blanket around the burning material. That means the oxygen is above that blanket of carbon dioxide. Moreover, carbon dioxide brings down the temperature of the burning substance. And you know that a substance will continue burning if it is at the ignition temperature. So if carbon dioxide brings down the temperature of the burning substance, it slowly get extinguished. In these ways, carbon dioxide plays a significant role in controlling fire. Now, let us discuss question number 9. It is difficult to burn a heap of green leaves, but dry leaves catch fire easily. Explain. Answer. Green leaves have some amount of water in them. The water content present in the green leaves increase their ignition temperature and hence do not catch fire easily. On the other hand, dry leaves are waterless and have low ignition temperature, so they catch fire easily. So what is the concept here? Green leaves contain water content, and when the water is present in the leaves, its ignition temperature goes high. Because of that, the green leaves does not catch fire easily. But the dry leaves are not waterless. They don't have any water content. Therefore, they have low ignition temperature. Since their ignition temperature is low, the dry grass or dry leaves catch fire easily. Now, let us discuss question number 10. Which zone of a flame does a goldsmith use for melting gold and silver? Why? So, what is the question? For a goldsmith, which part of the flame is useful for melting gold and silver? A goldsmith uses the outermost zone of a flame, which is non-luminous, to melt gold and silver. So, which part of the flame is useful? Outermost part of the flame, which is non-luminous. And why it is so? This is because the outermost zone is the hottest zone of the flame with maximum temperature. We have seen that a flame has got 3 zones. In that, the outermost zone is the hottest zone and it has maximum temperature at that place. Therefore, goldsmith uses the outermost zone of the flame to melt gold and silver. Now, let us discuss question number 11. It is a numerical. In an experiment, 4.5 kg of a fuel was completely burnt. The heat produced was measured to be 1,80,000 kilojoule. Calculate the calorific value of the fuel. So here what is the question? 4.5 kg of fuel is burned and what is the amount of heat produced? 1,80,000 kilojoule. So we have to calculate the calorific value of the fuel. By formula, the calorific value of a fuel is heat produced divided by amount of fuel. So here what is the heat produced? 1,80,000 kilojoule. That divided by the amount of fuel, that is 4.5 kg fuel. On calculation, we get the answer as 40,000 kilojoule per kg. So, what is the calorific value of the fuel used? It is 40,000 kilojoule per kg. Now, let us discuss question number 12. Can the process of rusting be called combustion? discuss. Yes, what is the question? Can rusting be considered as the process of combustion? Yes, the process of rusting can be called as a combustion. As in the case of combustion, rusting is also a chemical reaction with oxygen and produce heat during the production of its oxide. So we have already seen that combustion is a chemical reaction with oxygen, and also rusting is also a chemical reaction with the oxygen. During rusting, the oxygen and the metal reacts and its oxide is formed, and also heat is produced during this reaction also. So we can call rusting as a case of slow combustion, but rusting is not taking place spontaneously or very fast. Therefore we can say that rusting is a case of slow combustion. Now we will see the last question, question number 13. Abhida and Ramesh were doing an experiment in which water was to be heated in a beaker. Abhida kept the beaker near the wick in the yellow part of the candle flame. Ramesh kept the beaker in the outermost part of the flame. Whose water will get heated in a shorter time? So here what is the question? Here we are applying the knowledge of candle flame in our practical life. So here two children, Abhida and Ramesh, are doing an experiment. Okay, in that they have to heat the water in a beaker. So Abhida kept the beaker near the wick in the yellow part of the candle flame, but Ramesh kept the beaker in the outermost part of the flame. Now we have to find out whose water will get boiled or heated in a shorter time. So here the knowledge of candle flame we have to use. So according to that, we can say that the water in the beaker kept by Ramesh will get heated in the shorter time. Okay, because Ramesh has kept the beaker in the outermost part. Okay, which is the hottest part of the flame with maximum temperature. So whose water will get heated up faster? Ramesh. The water in the beaker kept by Ramesh will get heated up in a shorter time. What is the reason? This is because Ramesh has kept the beaker in the outermost part, which is the hottest part of the flame, and this part has got maximum temperature. So students, I hope you are clear with all the answers of the exercises. Please pause the video and write it down in your notebook. Thank you.